Weather's been so annoying recently. It's been forecast 95% chance of rain. Heavy rain right now. And look at that sky. I'm being a bit selective of the sky I'm showing you, but look at it. It's not going to rain. That's the reason I brought this coat today. And it's like 10 degrees. So in the wind, it's freezing. But when it's not in the wind, it's too hot. Make up your mind, mate. Either be cold or rain or do whatever. Just don't tell me you're going to do one thing and then do something else. You know what I'm saying? Come for a walk at lunchtime. I'm having a productive day, just churning out shit, but I kind of, lunchtime came and I was like, my god, my brain just kind of felt like it just went out of its ears, and I just started staring at the screen. I'm like, what was I doing? I've now like finished off I'm on the third microservice that I'm updating. I like started going this way, and then I basically went down, back, and then I'm fighting my way back, effectively. So I'm nearly done. They keep pushing for time and stuff, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, I feel like I'm generating enough features on my own to like compete with an entire team of people. It's insane, and I can't figure out why that is either. Like, it must be what everyone else is working on is all at the front end and some legacy code, and I've got all the nice shiny new stuff, which isn't that shiny or new, to be honest. But I seem to be able to just generate features so much quicker than everyone else. I'm pretty proud of that shit, you know? What I am going to do, I'm going to go to a supermarket and buy myself some juice, some squash. Oh, hello. Holy shit. How did that happen? Old company, the last place I worked, had just bought so much squash, like juice. I always call it juice, but people call it squash, dilute juice. There'd just be like an entire cupboard full of this stuff. And like, this place has tea and coffee and whatnot, but like, you don't want a hot drink and I don't want water. So I'm starting to miss that squash supply, and I'm going to go buy some. But yeah, otherwise, I'm just chilling like a goddamn villain. It's not too hard for me to get to Bristol for like just after 5, so I might make more of a habit of this. I'm going to meet someone I used to work with a very, very long time ago. We are going for a drink and a catch up basically, because I bumped into him the other day when I was going to Lloyd's, and I haven't, like I say, I haven't spoken to him since the job when I graduated. I graduated, got a job, worked with him, and then I left and went to the place I was last at. And yes, we were like, we should have a catch-up. So that's what we're going to go and do. Hey, and like I say, I can get to Bristol for about 5, cost me £2 to park, why not? That was pretty good fun. We just went for like one drink relatively quickly, because I hadn't had dinner. We hadn't planned to go out for dinner or anything like that, so I'm not sure. I think he lives a lot closer to town than I do. And I had arranged to drive Laura back home, and therefore I said goodbye to him, and I'm sat outside Laura's work, being like, come on, where are you? That was good fun. Good fun catching up with people from a long time ago as well, but goddamn. Like I say, you've got to invest in your network, and like, not for any other reason apart from the fact that you meet up with them, you have a good old chinwag, you basically just be friends. I've spent a long time, effectively, with no friends outside of work, and that's pretty shit. There she is, I can see her walking about. I'm trying to be a lot more conscious in maintaining the friends that I do have from work, outside of work, because friends are super important, and like, it's not what you know in this world, it's who you know, and the more friends you have, the more people you know, the more you can potentially get out of them, you know? Came home and had dinner and whatnot, and we started watching the Leaving Neverland documentary. Watched the first one, didn't realise it was a 2-parter. We taped it yesterday so we could fast forward the fucking adverts, not sitting through 2 hours. Nobody got 2 hours, boy. And the Twitter blowback from this is absolutely insane. Louis Theroux, my boy, Louis Theroux, the legend that is, the god that be, tweeted out about I'm halfway down this thing, basically saying that people who don't see this are just like willfully blind or actively discouraging victims from coming out or whatever. And the amount of comments are just like basically saying, disagreeing with Louis fucking Theroux. I genuinely cannot believe it. Because Michael Jackson is one creepy motherfucker. Like, if that fucker was around today, everyone would be like, yeah, blatantly. Something out of a fucking horror film. Like, just in acting normally is like out of a horror film. It's just like, hello. It's just fuck me. Like, genuinely. My God. It was really interesting. But I cannot believe the blowback. Oh, fucking society, man. Is so interesting. I don't really know why, but I've been so tired this week. So happy for it to be Friday, and it's not even like I've done anything. I feel like I've just kind of vegetated, and that's not good at all. And I genuinely don't know why. I think it's probably because I haven't done much that I feel so tired. I've like let myself get lazy. It's not good at all, but it's Friday, and God for that. Laura's got some like coursework stuff until midday tomorrow-ish, so it's gonna be work until Saturday, and then get a bit of time off with Laura, which will be good, but then back at it again next week. It's just, I don't know why I feel so like dead, more or less, like kinda, I don't know. That's the end of another week, ladies and gentlemen. I'm waiting for Laura to get home, and now I'm gonna do some work. But until then, I am just chilling down. They have like this, this weekly brief, like kind of dev chat thing, and what they were gonna do this time was play a board game called Playing Lean, which is a board game all around like lean startups. And I'm like, I cannot imagine anything worse than that. So I sat downstairs and did work like a good boy. Get excited, guys, this hair's getting chopped off tomorrow. It's been going well, programming wise. I've almost got this thing basically sorted. I obviously can't test, it's checking the database first, but I can't test that it's working because it won't, what am I trying to say to you, fam? I don't have anything in the database. So, but yeah, it's like rubbling through. I've got a nice way of figuring it out. The one thing I'm trying to figure out is prioritising my database. I've got two data sources, effectively. And I kind of want to prioritise, I want to put mine at the top, and then I want to do alphabetical. And I've got to figure out a cursor that will do that for me. It's going to be a hoot. It's bedtime now. Finally getting a chance to go get my hair cut. I tried to go last week, I tried to go the weekend before. It's 2 weeks overdue. Look at this mop to find one closer, to be honest. But until then, keep coming to this one. Such a creature of habit that I don't want to have to find another one, you know. I also almost brought my laptop to do some work on the bus because I woke up this morning with an idea of how to solve the problem I've got. But I scribbled it down on paper and I'm not going to get any work done on the bus, so I brought my book instead. I haven't read a book in ages. With my Kindle, reading 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel, which is pretty interesting. I haven't had a chance to read because I don't bus anymore. So I just drive and walk everywhere. I've seen like 3 or 4 people, I am going to find a new barber's, 3 or 4 people like taking Instagram photos for their girlfriend. They're out in force today. Must be something to do with the lighting or something. With some shoes, and I got some lunch. Let's go home. God dang. Got a great big box of sushi, because Laura was like, I want the middle-sized sushi, and I'm like, there seems to be small and larger than this. I assume this doesn't count as large, and this is cheaper than 2 middles. So let's try this for a change. But yeah, I don't know what she wanted, so I was like, fuck it, get everything. I don't really know where today went, to be honest with you. We went to Bath to go and have a look around some home shops, pick up some more tester pots of paint. Got 2 more being delivered because they didn't have them in stock. I got some shoes. I'll tell you I got some shoes. I ordered some new shoes. They'll come in tomorrow. I'm going to see if I can get Laura to pick them up from town. And, but yeah, we got some new paint pots, and Laura got some plants and shit for the garden. Laura's a gardener, I don't like plants. They make me sneeze. So basically then got home, cooked some dinner, and we've been watching TV and just chilling. I have been thinking all day though about how to solve this cursor problem. I think I've got a solution. I think I've got one. My initial idea that I had this morning I don't think will work. I've got another one, and I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning early and I'm going to watch Formula E on TV, because Sky haven't bought the rights for that. I can watch it on BBC, and I'm going to see what it's like, because it's interesting the difference between Formula E and Formula 1. So I'm all about that life. It keeps on and off raining today, and Laura's been trying to do some gardening outside. I've been doing some programming, trying to figure out this thing that I'm doing is actually a bit of a pain in the arse, and it's something that I'm trying to like encapsulate somewhere, and I'm glad that I did, because if I did it in place, I'm like, this is one of few scenarios I can think it's going to be needed. But it'd been a bitch to test. I'm just writing loads of tests to try and get it to cover all the different scenarios where like it's all in the wrong order, then you put it in the right order, then it's got to like sort it, then it's got to calculate this thing, then it's got to do this, it's got to work if it's empty, it's got to work if it's null, it's got to work if it's insane. It's really fiddly, and the thing I'm struggling with is figuring out if there's more, because I've like resorted the data, taken a certain number out of it, and then started at a certain point, don't know what that point is, and then it's just like, fuck, it's a pain in the ass. So yeah, it's fun though. Played a bit of Xbox with the boys, and now we are getting ready, because we're going out for a Sunday lunch. Oh, a nice roast. Oh, I'm so excited.
Well, I got the wine is not on there.
Best view in the house. Friggin' lovely. A Sunday roast. I haven't had a Sunday roast like that in ages. It's one of them things that's, I think Laura was saying this, where like if you're doing a Sunday roast at home, it only really makes sense to do a chicken, because chickens are somewhat cheap and then they last. But like a Sunday roast for 2 people just doesn't really make sense, because you end up spending like a lot of money on a not very good cut of meat, effectively. You cook it, and then you don't really end up with that much after it either. So, yeah, thoroughly enjoyed that. Came back here, watched some the final Michael Jackson thing, and then I also finished off the thing that I was doing to create my page stuff. I've got it. This is kind of like a last, hurrah kind of thing. It's only really relevant in this scenario where I need to get data from an external source that already doesn't do it, and my database, and combine the two. Usually I'll be getting the data from my database, and then I can do it all at database layer. But at this point, oh look, it's brought the flowers in, I didn't see that. At this point I had to, because I've got to do it now, I've got to basically load it all into memory. In theory I don't have a lot, but I tested it with like 2 million. Well, no, I tested it with 500,000, and that was about a second. I managed to bump it up to 2 million before it would get to about a second worth of processing on my laptop. It's very rare that I have to do stuff like this. Like, it's effectively a big old sort problem. But yeah, I'm somewhat happy with it. I've like locked it down with unit tests and whatnot, so I know it works, and I've tried a couple of iterations to make it quicker. But I seem to have optimised it to the point where it is. But it's one of the things where I have to go through all of the things at least once. So I'm at least N. I've then got to compute something, and then I've got to order it. So I'm then like, whatever the sort algorithm is in link. I'm not writing my own sort algorithm, fuck that. Also doesn't make any sense to, having said this, I bet you my tests aren't that random, really, because I'm generating 2 million with a loop. So actually, I bet you as soon as I bet it's approximating to like a really good quicksort algorithm, because it's already mostly in order. Oh no, it's quicksort's bad when it's mostly in order, isn't it? I don't know. I can't remember. Long time. But anyway, what I was saying is, it's very rare that I have to write things like that. Is what I'm doing, because usually it's all in the database, or usually you don't really have that much data. And when I'm doing it in real, I'm not going to have that much data. But I just thought I'd test it for funsies. So yeah, good times. I need to sort out my video, but I'm going to have one more day of just going to bed at a normal time, waking up at a normal time, and then tomorrow I'm going to wake up early. That's my plan of attack. As in Tuesday. I'll wake up early and start jumping back on the sleeping side. That's my plan. Stan. What's my excuse for not doing it tonight? Sort of my videos, I need to sort out things that aren't programming. I've let programming distract me, and I've fallen behind everything else. I've got too much on, not enough time. When was it that I got my new shoes, and I've still not put them on yet? I'm not even sure why either, but I just haven't got round to putting them on. More to the point, I haven't got round to lacing them, and then because obviously when you get them out of the box, they're never laced properly. So I need to lace them. And therefore, whenever I leave the house, I'm always in too much of a rush to do that, so it's not good. I am starting to ramp up productivity again. I started to say that, that's probably my catchphrase. So today I am walking in so that I don't feel like I need to go for a walk at lunchtime, and then I'm going to go on my laptop at lunchtime and finish off this paging thing. So that's my plan there. So yeah, I am gonna finish that off. I'm basically there, I think. I'll just throw a couple more tests at it potentially, and then start writing my other stuff. Like I say, I've got. It's hard when I don't have all the time that I want to have to not be distracted by one thing and let everything else fall by the wayside. But then there's a certain point where I'm like, am I spreading myself too thin and therefore not achieving anything? And it's like, you got to pick a side basically, and it's really difficult to get that balance right. But I think I've got it wrong. So I'm gonna have another shot at it. So I'm planning, which is kind of why I'm walking in. I got used to parking close, but I'm walking in so that I don't feel like I need to go for a walk at lunchtime, because I can walk in and out. But yeah, I feel like I do need to start thinking about more emails, getting more feedback, and writing another blog, because I do want to kind of keep that consistent. I'm just trying to figure out what blog is next. I feel like it's going to be a codey one. I'm trying to figure out if this pageable thing is a good substitute. I'm not sure. The problem with the codey one is I can do it, but I don't have any kind of syntax highlighting on my website. So I can do code blocks and stuff, but it doesn't look like great. So there's that, but we may have to see. I may also have to have a look at extending the width of the code block so that it fits. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, there's lots of things I need to do and want to do, but I haven't got much time. This is always the way. I'm going to start battening down the hatches. That's the doggo. Hello. I wonder what the fuck that was then. I'm going to start battening down the hatches cost-wise. I'm going to buy Formula 1 for the year. That's going to be the last thing I spend money on. And I'm just going to start going back into my little hovel and just living my life, programming, and effectively doing that, and then networking, and that's it. They're the two things I'm allowed to spend money on and spend time on. I feel like that's the best way to go. So Laura's thinking about getting a cat. I want a dog, but realistically, we're out the house too much. So I think I'm losing the dog battle, and also dogs are a lot of time and effort, obviously, but I don't know. I like cats, but I want a dog. Well, I decided to come out for a walk at lunch because I'm fucking annoyed. I've been wrestling today, trying to figure out why the hell I can't get this. I've released a load of new microservices. I'm trying to release one of the middle ones so that it can publish its contract so that the next one can update. And I can't get it to do it because of problems with versioning, which basically means it's trying to push a version of the NuGet package that it's already pushed in a previous command, because we have this like custom way of figuring out whether or not you need a new NuGet version, and it obviously fell over. It's so annoying, so unbelievably annoying. I think I can join this path and then know where I'm going. This thing is like literally, it's parsing Git history and then using reflection to figure out whether or not something changed in a class and whether or not that makes it a major or minor or a fixed semver change. And you're like, God, the problem I have is effectively two branches wanted to make it the same thing, but then it doesn't update itself when one of them merged, so they both tried to release the same thing, and now I've updated this one, but it won't tell like the repository that it's changed, so it's constantly trying to get it to the same version. So it's like constantly trying to go to version 2.2. Even though 2.2 already exists. And the only way I could figure out fixing that was to force it to 3. So I forced it to 3, and then, joke's on you fam, just after the one that was just failing, that you didn't know about was failing, starts failing, and now you've just pushed 3, so good luck fixing that one. Because it didn't, and because it failed on the one just after the one you're trying to release, it means it still thinks it's on 2.2, even though it's on 3. So even if you did another major fix, it doesn't go to 4.0, it stays at 3, because it still thinks it's on 2.2, because it didn't get a chance to finish. Why the fuck would you decide that you know enough about any of this to write your own, and then assume that it will never go wrong? And why did it go wrong? Because the fucking build server fell over. It timed out. It literally timed out. And then NuGet packages didn't update. But they did update. They pushed the change, but then didn't tell themselves that they'd update. I feel like my only option now is delete the latest version of the Nougat packages, and I'm not entirely sure that's possible. I definitely don't have permission to, so I'm going to find somebody who does. If it was on VSTS, it wouldn't let you. Let's put it that way. So let's hope that whatever we have does. I'm not really sure who's at fault here. It's either Bitbucket, which fucked it in the first place because it didn't update the branch that it was on, or the build that it was on when it did the merge. Or it's us for thinking we're clever enough to write our own version into bit of both. Solved the problem with brute force, and now I'm going through the joys of deploying Cloud Function to our development environment. Now it actually exists in Google Cloud. Apparently the way that I currently deployed it to the test environment isn't good enough, so we are putting it in a container and deploying the container. I've got an unhealthy obsession with containers. Now we have to configure the Google Cloud Function to call the container and make sure that the configuration between the function and the container is correct, and the container and the code is correct, which is always fun. More things to configure. Stop being so sour. Relax. This is my problem though, I care too much. I try and make it all nice and shiny, and I shouldn't care. I should just let them do what they want. For fuck's sake, you just take one bloody shortcut and get punished. Everywhere else is dry. We've been shopping, we've come back. It's been a bit of a stressful day today. Probably said a couple of things I didn't need to say. I probably didn't mean, apologise. But yeah, there's other stressful stuff as well. But it's by the by, and it's life. Otherwise, it is nearly 11 o'clock. We will be waking up in the morning, so we need to get to bed and go to sleep quick. What napping system am I doing? Am I doing the two naps or the big sleep? But I'm gonna get up and do some work. I did a little bit of work and realised on my laptop, which is all good, got that all sorted. I'm just putting together the API now. I've almost got the API set, so I need to set up the API tests, and then I can start bubbling that information out towards the API gateway so that my front end can be developed around this as well. It's looking good. It's looking good. But also I need to do all those other things that I said were important, and I need to balance. Okay, end the video here. I'm not sure how long it is. I'm not sure how many videos I've even got still on this camera. I can't remember the last time I uploaded a video to YouTube. So yeah, need to do that as well. God damn it. Right, thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll catch you later.